Hi, Dr. Scott Jensen. For months I've been saying, we're going to get through this pandemic, and we are. The numbers demonstrate that. Hospitalizations, ICU beds, cases, deaths, they're dropping. But you know what? There's this little matter left called Reconstruction, and what's that going to look like? Because part of Reconstruction will be to hold people accountable. Part of Reconstruction will be, how do we build bridges once again and move forward and have conversations? Families have been divided. Communities have been divided. Today, I read an article in the Daily Mail, the largest daily circulation in the United Kingdom. And one of the lead articles was this: both parties are calling for a national inquiry into death certificates. Over the last few days, they've had an explosion of people coming forward, sharing stories about someone at the age of 99 dying with dementia and emphysema, but being labeled a COVID-19 death. Totally out of bounds. I've been talking about this for a year. I told you that the Illinois medical director person or public health person said, well, just because it says COVID-19 as the cause of death on the death certificate doesn't mean they died of COVID-19. I didn't make that up. Deborah Birx, nobody dies with it, they die of it. We've been talking about this. For months I've been asking for an audit in Minnesota, and it's not happening. There's got to be some accountability. I mean, on another level, where was the Thanksgiving surge? Where was the post-Christmas surge? Where was the post-Super Bowl surge? It didn't happen. Do these prognosticators get held accountable or not? And I have one other thing to say about these COVID deaths. Mainstream media has tagged President Donald Trump as being responsible for 500,000 deaths. I don't buy that. They totally ignore the fact that for the first time in human history, we've had a vaccine created within 12 months and administered to people if they choose to have it. But if President Trump is going to be tagged by the mainstream media as accountable and responsible for those deaths, then how about Governor Cuomo in New York, where he fudged the data because he didn't want the public to know how many people had died of COVID-19? Or how about, if we're not going to talk about Governor Cuomo, how about Governor Walz in Minnesota? If his policies, which they did, created a pipeline of active COVID-19 disease into long-term care facilities, and then once older, fragile people started to get sick, and then his response was to lock the facilities down, lock the residents in, lock the families out, and cause these people to die horrific, lonely deaths, is the mainstream media going to hold Governor Walz responsible for those thousands of deaths? There's some reconstruction that's going to have to go on. And as we do it, if we can't be honest with ourselves as we decide how do we hold people accountable, then we're not the people we need to be. Think about it, please.